Hello and welcome to XTab. My name is Phil Benham, and together with Daniel Tan, I'd like to present to you our X Group Deal Facebook application. X Group Deal has a basic concept of being able to allow users to view content or have access to certain things on Facebook after a certain number of registrants have registered for the application. And also, we're able to limit this content by a certain number of registrants. In other words, if you had 200 deals that you wanted to give away only, then you could limit it to 200. The other limitation here is by date. So if you only wanted to run this deal for a certain period of time, you're able to do that. And of course, this originated from the Groupon, the famous Groupon application. And what they have done is they've allowed businesses to run campaigns or coupons based on a tipping point where a certain number of people agree to participate. And only then will they have access to a coupon. The same concept here applies, but I just very quickly want to walk you through the group deal application. So here we are inside of our group deal application on Facebook, and there are two different versions of the application, and I'll go over them briefly here. But just so you know that the first version is for single users, which means only one Facebook user will be able to access the application. And that's it. Anyone else going to that URL, they'll be notified that they cannot connect with the application. The second version of our app is what we call a multi-user application. And what this does is allow the purchaser or one of our customers to create an application that they can allow other Facebook users to participate with or connect with. The beauty of a multi-user application is that our customers are able to modify or manage a membership list. So you can have as many people connect to it as you want, but they won't be approved to use the application until our customer approves them. And the way our multi-user applications are set up is if you purchase one, you'll have access to include 10 members or approve 10 users of the app, including yourself. And then you can always upgrade to a number of users, 25 users at a time. So just so you know, and we'll talk about that in a later video if that's what you decide you wanted to do. We'll let you know what's going on with that. And also on the sales page, if you'll look at the facts, you'll be able to see a more detailed explanation between a single user and a multi-user application. Those apply to all of our applications, just so you know. So if you have a multi-user app for Elements Plus, then you know what X Group Deal will do for you. Same thing. All right, so if we come here, the first thing that we'll do is when you purchase, you'll be able to brand this yourself. So this whole header image here will be something that you can put up yourself. Now all the buttons and things like that will all be the same. We'll also remove the copyright here underneath. So this will be your application. And if you look under if you look under your apps here, your list of apps, you'll also see this X Group Deal, and I'm kind of pointing to it here. You'll notice that it has a little ticket icon, and it's titled X Group Deal 2.0. Part of your purchase will give you the opportunity to change this name, so it could be named whatever you like, and this is the full application. You'll also be able to upload an image for this icon. The other image that you'll be able to upload is if anyone shares any information, you'll be able to, or connects with your app, you'll be able to modify the information there and the thumbnail image for that connection or that request for permissions. Okay, so those are the things that you can modify when you purchase the application. Now, one of the things I do want to talk about with very quickly is that a lot of folks, wonder, why can't I just have the application and host it on my own server? Well, it's because our code is very proprietary and we like to keep it that way. And so what we do is we set up your own application on our server. And that means you still own the application. If at any time you decide to, stop using it, we keep the code, for you. So you don't have to worry about, where is it going to go? It's not going to go anywhere. These applications are all hosted on secure and cloud-based and dedicated servers. So you have nothing to worry about. And we monitor the size and space and security of those servers all the time, every day. So we back up those daily. And we also, make sure that there aren't any attacks. We have some security in place at that point. And we've also made sure that we comply with all the Facebook regulations such as SSL and that sort of thing. So if you have any questions at all, find our group on Facebook at facebook.com/groups/FBX tab. And you'll notice that we have many users that are very happy with this scenario. We like to go ahead and keep it that way. So I know there'll be some questions about that, so I want to go ahead and answer those up front. All right, so now we're inside the application. You can read through this and just give it gives you an overview of what it's about, some configuration things that you might want to consider. Manage images, and it tells you what images you're going to need to upload into the deal. And it also tells you a little bit about publishing the application. The first thing you'll probably do, most likely, is click this Configure New Deal button. In this case, what I want to do is, instead of configure a new deal, I'm going to take you through an existing deal. And I don't have very much time because YouTube doesn't allow long videos anymore. So I'm going to show you this in action. First, we'll go to the page that this application is on, and we'll go ahead and pull it up. All right, so this is the application here. And at this point, there's several stages in the application. At this point, this is a pending stage, so it gives us the pending image. And I'll kind of walk you through this. The other thing is this gray bar at the top will not be seen to anyone except the admin of the page. So if you're viewing this page as a user, Facebook user, you'll only see from this point down. All right. So let's get started with some of the configurations. If we click Edit, we'll be able to get into that area. Once we're here, there are three different main areas that you want to consider. There's the Configuration, Manage Images tab, and a Publish tab. And these are all very important tabs. In the Configuration tab, we'll see that there's Deal Settings, Share Settings, and Invite Settings. So with this, we can name the application. We can choose a page to add it to. We can click to require users to like the page. Now, if we do this, then another image will be popping up in the Manage Images tab that allows you to put your Lightgate image there. And if you don't want to use a Lightgate image, well, in the Publish tab, we have a place where you can put in a custom HTML and CSS. So very customizable in that area. The registration type, so you can even put a video on your, on the like image if you want to. So it's really customizable. The next thing is the registration type, and there are two different types of registration, but once you choose one, you're not allowed to change it. There's a manual registration, which actually, when folks register for the coupon or whatever content that you are, kind of hiding, or you're asking for people to register for. This will allow you to put a space for a name and an email address. So people actually have to type their name and email address in and then click register to move forward in the application. If you don't want that type of registration, then you can choose automatic. But the only thing with automatic registration is that it does require users to accept the permissions for the application in order to move forward. Okay, so that you can, so that the registration can automatically get their email address from their Facebook page. So again, this is very important to choose what type of registration that you want. You can always, you can't change it later, but you can always delete the application from the page go to the page and delete the application, and then start from scratch and then change your registration type. So there is a way to do that. It's just that you have to go through some steps and hoops to get that done. And there's really no way of changing this registration on the fly the way it is now. So just know what that is. And of course, there are some help icons that you can hover over to get some tool tips on what all of these settings mean. On the register tech, this is what people will see when they'll be able to register for the app, for the content. Now here's where you set the amount of registrations required to activate it. So if you don't want anyone to use the coupon or view the content until a certain number of people have registered, this is where you put that number in. And here is the amount of registrations required to deactivate the group deal. So if you wanted to only allow 200 people access to this total, then you put that registration here. You put that number in here. And then again, here is another way that you can limit the content, and you can have the group deal expire on a certain date. All right, so I do want to, actually I don't want to change that just yet, but I want to show you how that works. And then terms and condition, this accepts HTML, so you can see there's an H1 tag with a style of centering the text, and there's the terms and conditions. You can style it any way you want. You can put your inline CSS here, or you can, of course, close these up with the style tag. And then, of course, you put your terms and conditions. It is required that you use this. All right, so next would be the share settings, and this is when anybody shares the coupon or the content that they want to share this content with someone else, and of course they would have to go through the registration process again to access it. But this is where you set that up: your title, your text, your thumbnail, and then of course the next thing would be the invite button. And in this case, this is if someone wants to invite their friends. And so I'll show you what these two settings are: the share settings and the invite settings. Right here are the buttons that render here. There's the share, and if we click that, then a modal dialog box will pop up, and of course it will have our thumbnail, our title, and our text. Okay, and we'll hit cancel. And then the invite is where they can invite individual friends one at a time and send those requests directly to them. Okay, so that's where we set up those settings there. All right, the next group of, or the next tab here would be the Manage Images tab, and this is where you go through and you upload all of your images. So here is the Lightgate image. The next, and this gives you a brief description what that's about. The register image, this is where folks would have to register to unlock the deal, so to speak, so you can put whatever you want here. The pending image, the active image, and this is actually what people will see when the deal is active. And then the inactive image, and this is if a certain number of people that you have limited to has already been exceeded, or if the date has been passed, this is what they'll see. All right, so the next set of settings is the publish settings, and this is where it gets really, really cool, is that you can make this active image clickable, so you just put in a URL there if you want to. Then beneath each section of the deal, in other words, if you've enabled light getting, you can come through here and put in custom HTML and CSS to match for the Lightgate, and this is beneath or below the Lightgate image. So even if you did not include a Lightgate image, you can put HTML and CSS in there. So that's fantastic. So the next, of course, section would be the register image. After that would be the pending image, and this is what we're seeing here is the pending image. So if I wanted to change anything on this, I could. In fact, why don't we just do something with HTML here? So it would be beneath this image. All right, so any HTML I'm thinking of here, let's just put a P tag, and it doesn't matter what it is. Hello. And I'm just going to make it real easy like that. And you can put any HTML here, just so you understand. And then what I'd like to do is make that P tag, and I'll come over here and I'll make this, see this CSS? Here's the P tag. And what I'll do is I'll make this color, instead of black or whatever, however many zeros I put in here, I'm going to make it, let's say, red. So I think in that case it would be FFOOOO maybe. And maybe even the text size a little bit bigger. So Text size would be, let's see, 24 pixels. How's that sound? All right. So there's our, what we've done with the style there is, we've just made the text size 24 pixels and we made it red. All right. So that's what I want to do just to change it. Now, here's another thing that I want to point out to you is this status bar here. This is what people will see when they're, of course, at this pending image or the active image. They'll be able to see a status bar, and this will tell them how many registrations are needed, how many are current, and then what the limit is here. Okay, so if they know that this is close to 200, it's 180 something, then this is just going to give them incentive to move forward. All right, and it also tells you when it expires and what the status is of the deal. But you wanted to maybe change these colors in order to match your branding. So the way you would do that is, and it would have to be under each section here. So you have to know what section you're changing this in. But if you look at the default container CSS here, it'll show you these colors. This top one is 3B5998. The bottom two are 627 AAD, and of course the color for the text is white. Okay, so we'll just close that, and if we wanted to change any of that, we would change that here in this custom CSS. I'm using Chrome, so I can just open this up a little bit. Or excuse me, I guess it's Safari. Anyway, so you can go through. Here's the color of the text here for that container. We've also got the background for the bottom two is 627 AD, and the background for the top one is 3B5998. And if you ever have a doubt, just go ahead and look at this again to make sure that's the color that you want to change. And then you just change the hexadecimal color there, and you can, of course, change the footer color, the anchor link color. You can do whatever you like here, but these are just the ones that we know that you probably be using most often. All right, so let's go ahead and save, and we'll show you this custom HTML here. So if I save and publish, and then I'll just come back over here to Facebook, and I'll refresh this page. And it shows here that here's the red text. Now, it's also taking this CSS and this gray bar, but you remember, we don't have to worry about that gray bar because no one else sees that except for us. And that's just giving you the paragraph text is changing. But here's that paragraph text is hello, and it is also, red. And I'm not sure why the text size is not that big. Maybe I didn't change it correctly inside of the CSS, so I'm not real familiar with that. But anyway, you can do just about whatever you want here, and all of the HTML will come out below this image. So if I did not have an image here, then of course this would be above here underneath the status bar. All right, and let's see. The other thing I want to show you is about the registrations. You can download these after a certain number of people have registered, or whenever you want to. You can download them as a comma separated value file. You can also come through in here and delete this, and this is what I suggest you do as an admin, is delete yourself, or if you wanted to kind of go through the whole process again to make sure the images were rendering correctly and everything, just delete yourself here. So this is what I'll do is I'll delete this top one, and after I've deleted it, then it'll tell me that I've been deleted successfully. I'll close it, and now when I refresh, I'm going to see the register image instead of the pending image. And I'll just show you this process. Now I've made the made the process to be automatic. So if I click skip or if I click share, let's say if I click share because I want to go through and I cancel it or I share it, then I'll get this register image, a register button here. And remember, you have the register text, but I have the text rendering as white, so that's why you're not seeing it here. But this is the text here, and you can just barely see it there. It's rendering white. And I should go through and change that, but I just haven't got around to it yet. So we'll click the register button. If I haven't given it permissions already, this is the point it'll ask me for permissions. But since I've already given it permissions, it goes straight to the pending image or whatever the next step is. All right, so if it was already active because 50 people have registered, then I would be getting the active image. So very good. I just wanted to kind of go through that with you. I hope I made it inside of the time restraints here that I have. We look forward to seeing you on the other side. We have a very full and robust support desk system. We have an application installation team ready to install your apps, and it usually takes a day or so, depending on how many people we have that day. We'll look forward to seeing you. Have a fantastic day, and thanks for giving X Group Deal a try.